It's the afternoon edition of the Weather Xtreme video. This is for Tuesday, April 14th. I'm James Spann. A wet, unsettled weather pattern continues across the state at least through Saturday. When's it going to rain? Who gets what? How much? Any flooding issues? What about severe weather? We'll see if we can answer all those questions. And as we often do, we'll start with a broad look at the weather across the continental United States with a water vapor satellite view. The contours on top of that are about 18,000 feet up at 500 millibars. Trough in the northwest United States. A wave is lifting out of Texas, and boy, it's been wet this morning on the Gulf Coast. That's a radar at 241. You can see a big rain mass approaching Highway 80, moving up from southwest Alabama. Just pouring rain in places like Camden and Sweetwater and Grove Hill and Thomasville and Monroeville. And that big rain mass will ultimately affect places like Tuscaloosa and Birmingham and Anniston and Gadsden late this afternoon and tonight. So if you got some type of sports event outdoors, just be ready for rain. And also we note other storms have fired well ahead of that over northwest Alabama in a band from near Columbus, Mississippi to Cullman, Alabama. And those are producing a lot of lightning as they move along, but the severe weather risk remains relatively low. Temperatures pretty warm today. Look at Gadsden. They're the warm spot. They've got 81. They've seen some intervals of sunshine today. Elsewhere, mostly upper 70s. Birmingham at 78. And we've got a pretty decent amount of instability. This is the surface-based Cape, and you can see that the numbers have ramped up to 2,500 joules per kilogram right on top of Birmingham. That's pretty unstable, but thankfully the dynamic forcing is not especially strong today, and there's hardly any shear, so that's the reason organized severe weather is not expected around here. Here's a watch warning map. All those bright pink areas from Arizona to the Dakotas, those are red flag warnings for wildfire danger. We've got flash flood watches for parts of Kentucky, West Virginia, and some of the adjacent states. And down to the south, we have flash flood watches for parts of southwest Alabama, specifically Mobile, Baldwin, Washington, and Escambia counties. Also flash flood watches for parts of the Florida Panhandle, South Mississippi, Southeast Louisiana. We note flash flood warnings in effect around New Orleans. That's the severe weather risk for the rest of today and tonight. A marginal risk over parts of south and southwest Alabama. Tomorrow, a marginal risk well to the west, a little slight risk, the standard risk over parts of northwest Kansas around Goodland. And on day 3, which is Thursday, again, a marginal severe weather risk over much of Texas. But yeah, buddy, a lot of rain. This is the additional rain through Sunday morning, 3 to 4 inches on top of the rain that's already come down. So along the way, we'll have to watch for any potential flooding problems here. All right, model fans, here we go, the GFS. This is the 12Z run. This is valid tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock at 500 millibars. You can see that big trough digging down through the Rockies. Got a southwest flow aloft here. First off, this is the HRRR this evening at 7 o'clock. Got something planned outside. It looks pretty wet. As you can see, Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, Anniston, Gadsden should be in rain at that point. This is tomorrow at 1 o'clock, back to the GFS. Same thing. We're just in this big old mass of moisture, an ocean of humidity. In trying to tell you exactly when the rain is going to start and stop at any given point, it's just almost impossible in this pattern. This is the high-res NAM, valid tomorrow at 5 o'clock local time. You can see an array of showers and storms about. The radar is not going to look exactly like that, but it will be close to that more than likely. And again, there might be a strong storm, but severe weather, no, not expected. Thursday, same thing, a moist air mass. Good chance of rain at times during the day. It's not going to rain all day. There'll be some breaks, and the sun might even poke out from time to time. And again, we've got this cold air damming look, as you can see, that 1033 high sitting over Cape Cod, nosing in here. And got a pretty big spread from the GFS to the NAM. That the GFS is suggesting we stay in the 60s all day, even in Birmingham. And I think that's probably the right solution. The NAM has got us up around 80. And somebody near the Mississippi border might see 80. But from Birmingham east, it looks like we stay in the 60s all day Thursday. Friday. Now, this run does not look as wet as other runs. This is suggesting just maybe we catch a break in the rain Friday, but I'm not going to really go for that yet. We'll mention a good chance of showers and maybe some thunder, but clearly it's not going to rain all day. High would be in the low 70s. Saturday, as the weekend begins, looks very wet. Now, this run, we don't have that deep surface load that's west of the state. Instead, we have this broad trough coming in here, a surface boundary. But that looks like a wet day with rain and storms likely. The high would be in the 70s. Instability values approaching 2,000 joules per kilogram. But again, there's no shear. The severe weather look at this point looks fairly small. And then Sunday, look at that deep trough digging through here. Wow. Down below that, there's a broad surface low on top of us, and this would suggest still a pretty decent chance of showers and thunderstorms. And as that deep trough moves in, there could be some storms with hail on Sunday because of the cold air aloft. But beyond that, I don't think we have any severe weather worries. There's the instability values. They're pretty marginal. Values generally under 1,000 joules per kilogram. Finally, Monday of next week, everything lifts out. Trough axis moves on. We are getting into drier air. Lower humidity. Should be a mostly dry day, and Tuesday looks beautiful, bright and sunny. We start the day down probably in the upper 40s, and the high will be in the 70s. Here's the end of the forecast. This is Friday the 24th, the end of next week. Broad troughing way back off to the west, and moisture tries to creep back in here. And look at the snow look out there for Denver. The pattern looks very snowy for April for the Rocky Mountain states. Temperatures coming off the ensembles for the next 15 days. The cooler mornings will likely be Monday and Tuesday morning of next week. Maybe Wednesday morning with lows down in the upper 40s, but highs across the board mostly in the 70s. That's it for the Weather Xtreme video today. We'll have notes in the blog. Next video here by 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. If you can't catch us this evening on the live stream or the television side, ABC 3340 News at 4, 5, 6, and 10 o'clock. Thanks for watching. Have a great evening, and God bless.